Right, so that's recording now. Ellie, is it not? Did it just come up saying it was recording? Yes, because it didn't record last week, which was really annoying because even though I have all those troubles, I always seem to get it to record. Okay, so people are still coming in now, but I'm going to get cracking on because time is of the essence and it's November. We are not messing about. So, although we have all of these weekly calls and we have our different monthly focuses and we talk about our monthly goals, we talk about annual goals and 5-year goals. What I don't want us to be thinking is that November and December are the months where we end the month all nice and serene. If you've never been in direct sales before, that is the absolute complete opposite. Like all the work that you have put in this year has been off the back of the previous year. And if you've not been here that long, then let me tell you from my experience from over 10 years in the industry, it is continuously rolling. And it is your November and your December where you have that high energy, you have that momentum, and it is that which is going to propel you forward so that when you start 2026, you're going to start that next year strong. Let me just as I was writing my notes, I was thinking, well, let's just have a little bit of utterance on what that even means. Like, we talk about strength and how we want these months to be strong and we want to launch strong, but what does it actually mean? So, as leaders, we want to be encouraging our teams, but also showing them what this strength looks like. So, for me, I would say a strong beginning to 2026 is going into the new year with that strong mindset. The people we have in the business now, getting those small wins in now, getting them. Doing the do's, getting the questions, building the confidence up, basically. Let's not forget Katie Spence made us the most incredible onboarding system. So if you're feeling stuck or you're unsure or you are quite new and you haven't done the onboarding, go back and do the onboarding. It is there and designed for a reason so that after those 11 days, you have got the resources, the tools, you know what you need to be doing, and most importantly, you've got that confidence. And that's what we want. That's when we talk about strength, we talk about pharmacy influencers stepping up and doing their business, but doing it with confidence. Leonard, out of here, please. Shut the door. It's like, I'm like a kiddie magnet, my own kiddies. So that's what we're talking about. A strong customer base. So your November is a massive, massive sales month. So I'm going to talk primarily about a heavy focus on sales for this month and December. But we want ideally to be going into January intentionally with a bigger customer base, with a wider audience. Because when we launch those new products and that new product range or an extension to the Nutri Plus range in Madrid, we want to have those customers there. And that is what we're going to be doing this month and next month. That's why we're showing up with energy. That's why we are growing our customer base. And it's not just about those small wins. Yes, November is a massive opportunity for us to go into December with a really, really decent wedge of money going in, dropping into our banks. And for some people, as a supplementary, income, that's great. But if you're thinking long term, this month is going to be the month where you are growing your customer base, you're boosting your team's confidence through getting those small wins. They're seeing the bigger vision, they're getting more of an insight into it, and they're believing more because they're getting those small wins themselves. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I've got some tips and some guidance on some focus points and things that we're thinking of. But also, please, I would invite any of you guys, if you've got something that is working really, really well, please don't keep it to yourselves. Please share it, so we can all make sure that when we go into this 2026 strong, what that looks like is us as a collective having great recognition, having smashed out all of those comfort zones to be going in there confident, not just individually, but as an entire team. So, for this month, we're talking high energy, we're maximizing on that momentum, and like I said, we are finishing the year off in a really strong position so that we start 2026 not like it's like, oh, it's a fresh new start. Like a lot of other people might be thinking, like, oh, we've had an excitement, we had great, want 2025, great. No, we want to be, it wants to be a launching pad. November is a launching pad. This was never the end goal. When we talk about January and 2026 and we look at mapping out our 12 months and having that huge goal and that big vision, it's not so that we can end another year like, oh, yeah, let's reflect. Wasn't that a wonderful year? I mean, of course, we're going to have that, but we're talking those last couple of months. That is when we are kick starting, we are firing off, we are launching with strength into the next year already, 2 months before. So, this is what we're doing. We're absolutely not quieting down. Um, so yeah, we are going to make sure that we are intentionally starting 2026 on a high, and it's going to be from this month. Like, I mean, I did have a quick look just on my personal figures, just to give you an idea. And this November last year, this was the first Christmas, the first November that we had in pharmacy, and we had 152% growth month on month. So there were some incredible figures, and we had a new manager pop up. So November is a month where if you are intending on pushing to that next level, that is when promotions can happen. This is not where we just sit back and think, oh, well, we did loads of hard work this year and it's all automatically going to come into fruition. Like we spoke last week, that is not how it works. But looking back on last year, just to let you know, those people that set their sights high and they run for a particular promotion, whether it's they want to be getting on this call and getting that 18%, or you guys wanting to be getting to 25%. So you're looking at who wants to get to their next level. When you're looking at that, this is the month where it can happen. And it is from all the things that we pointed out last week. So I will just have a quick recap very, very quickly. So it was you guys leading from the front, you guys being the best salespeople. Like, you want to be setting those competitions and being open and saying, right, you're my top seller, you're my competition this month. Like, that is who I want to be. It's not me v me, it's me v you in a friendly kind of way. You want to be topping those leaderboards. And I'll tell you now, I have, since I said that, I thought, right, I really, really need to step up the game. So, what that's caused me to do is I am showing up more on my social media. My stories are more energetic and filled. I'm going live more often. I'm talking to more people. Am I the top salesperson? No, I'm not. But I'll tell you now, I'm absolutely trying. And if anybody who I am going out and coaching or having conversations with, if I'm telling them to do something, they're going to know exactly how to do it because they just need to look at my Facebook page, my Instagram, and they are going to see that I am leading from the front. So that's what we really need to be doing. Top sellers from last month, we're doing like 1500 PV. I had a look, I had lots of people that were on 12%, selling six, 700 PV. You talk, that's £300 to £400 in instant commission. That 1500, that's like over £600 in instant commission. I paused for a dramatic effect there for a reason. That is a lot of money. You know, November is a huge month, but when I look back, we ended last November in Istanbul. So that was tricky in itself. However, the people that hit those massive targets were highly, highly motivated, and they stayed on track with what their key focus was. I'm going to talk a little bit more about some sales and just give some like tips and guidance on that. But I just wanted to talk about year on year. And plus, pharmacy globally, they are smashing records. And it's not so much like it's got boring, but I think we're kind of taking it for granted because I remember in January, Emre saying how it was a record-breaking month, and then February was, and then March was, and then April was, and you think, oh, come on now. Come on, like what's going on here? This is getting a little bit like boring now. But this is something we need to be shouting about. Like, look at the advent calendars. Like, dare I even go there? That was a fantastic proposition. It far surpassed what we did last year. In fact, when we was at the warehouse recently, they even had some of the previous year's advent calendars. And although, like I mentioned, we had 152% growth month on month last year, we had a proposition that didn't quite hit it. That we had other products, which we still have, that was selling massively. But this year, we've had the launch of the advent calendar. We've sold out, and it's not just the UK, it's Europe. And we had a massive delivery. They take into consideration the fact that we've had month on month growth. It's been sustainable level of growth. We've had year on year growth. So they anticipated it would be a massive seller. So then they've sent us a load, but then we sold out in 2 days. So we need to be shouting about how amazing that is because that's great for attraction and it shows how people, it's in demand. Our products are in demand. So if any of you at the minute have sat there, we're a third way through the month, and your figures might be fantastic, or they might not be where they are. I'm just telling you now, they could be 100% better, 300% better. Even if you are having the best month that you've had all year, I'm telling you now, there is still scope to do more and to push more. We can bring more energy, we can be more visible, we can encourage our teams to do more and strive for more because who wouldn't want to have an extra £500 or £600 in their pocket instant? And that's not even considering the bonuses that are going to drop next month, right before Christmas. Me personally, I've looked at those figures and thought, right, I really, really need to knuckle down. I've got two children's birthdays, I've got four children, and there's Christmas next month. So it's an expensive month, and I want to go out. We've got a Christmas meal booked with friends on the 5th of December. I wouldn't mind getting myself a new dress for that. I want to be able to go and treat myself to some drinks. I don't want to be thinking, oh, do I need to get another credit card? Do I need to raise my limit? No, because we've got capabilities right here, right now to maximize on that. So make sure you're going back to your teams and letting them know that pharmacy is the place to be. Last year was extremely successful. We have had growth and that they can have a piece of that pie as well. We just can't be passive with it. We've got to make sure that we are going forwards and going and asking for that business, making sure that we are presenting the product, making sure that we are talking about them, having the conversations, and most importantly, bringing the energy around it as well. Like, go and get some Christmas hats. Tell them to put some Santa hats on and get festive. Get a little Christmas tree out. Have a little festive corner. Even if, like me, I don't normally we get a real Christmas tree, so there'll be nothing Christmassy in here until next month. But the other week, I did put a Christmas hat on, and I was afraid to take it off because I'd have a helmet head, and I was starting to sweat underneath it. But it doesn't matter. I told people that because it's funny and because it's real, and it's festive and selling with emotion and not just information. You know, you could fall into the trap of talking about these products and talking about them like I've got rugby things there, so I can't even use these. The rugby tees. You're not going to be like, oh, this is a great polymer plastic in green and the angle is great for your kid. That ain't gonna help, is it? You're gonna talk about how it's gonna feel when there is a team and they've put their kicking tee down and they're there and they're looking at the wind and it's all counting on them whether they make that conversion or not and there's no pressure, but there absolutely is the pressure. They've got to take a moment and then they're going to kick and they want to have complete trust and confidence in the tools that they've got and their kick. I don't know why I'm doing these rugby analogies when it would make sense to talk about this business, but it's just whatever it is that you're into, which brings me on to sticking to your niche. I'm going to talk about being a mum. A lot of my notes are going to be around there because a lot of my experience has been from being a mum in this business. So please don't think that I am excluding anybody if that is not your niche. So I'm mentioning this now because when you are showing up on your social media and when you're talking to your customers, especially around about this month, there's going to be a hell of a lot of noise. Like you dropping of your 11/11 sale. Yeah, that's crazy. I've been trying to sell perfume Whereas all I've talked about all year is everything but perfume. But I'm still going for it because I'm going for those supplementary sales. But my core content is still going to be geared around the fact that I want to boost people's confidence, and I'll talk about my stories. I'll share where I was before and where I am now. I'll use my own testimonials there. I'll talk about mum life because having four kids, it's a massive, massive part of my life and how I balance this business and the products around mum life. And then beauty. I love doing the makeup. I love doing my makeup live. So I might be putting my makeup on and I'll talk about the nutritional products. It's the nutritional products is something that is very, very in line with how I am personally, in terms of like needing the energy. God knows if I'm perimenopausal or something, there's something going amiss, there's something going on, it's not quite right. So I'm going to talk about those things, and that ties in well. So whilst we've got these pop-up sales, they need to be supplementary to what we're already doing. Let's not detract away from what our message is. And this is what we need to reiterate with our teams. So if you've got somebody who I can think of a lady in the team. She's not a mum yet. She's got a dog. She's quite young. She's got an aesthetics business, a beauty business. She does nails, and she's got an absolutely stunning home. So me saying to her, "Well, talk about motherhood." Why would I suggest she does that? It's got nothing to do with her. I'm not going to say to her, right, okay, you want to be selling these energy products because they're going to help tired mums, because that's not going to make any sense to her. And it's not something that she can really market in that way because it's not relatable to her. So like for instance, perfumes. If you've not come from a perfume background and all of a sudden you're going to try and sell perfumes, you never spoke about them before, you're going to come up with a little bit of resistance. It's going to be a little bit awkward. I'm telling you, because I've tried it. I can sell the nutritional products and sell the L-carnitine, and that's great. But I was going for these as supplementary sales, and that is what these are designed for, to create those spikes. So let's just make sure that although we've got these great offers, that our core content pillars are still being hit, and they've got to be aligned with whatever their individual niche is. So that's something that you want to be aware of for yourself and for your own branding, but also make sure that when you're guiding your teams and encouraging them to show up and to help with the sales, that you're also making sure that they're staying true to what their core content pillars are. Yeah, so like I said about selling with emotion and not just information, that's like sharing stories, real life impact. And again, this has got to be related to their niche, however that is. So for instance, if you've got somebody who's a bit of a gym bunny and they're into the wellness. So you want to be making sure that you're speaking to their pain points and what their desires are. And maybe it's about the self-care aspect of the products and the sustainability of the products. Um, I'm not going to talk overly about that because it's been nearly a year since I last stepped foot in the gym. So again, I'm not going to try and show up on social media and talk about stepping into the gym because I've got more of a gym in my son's bedroom upstairs. And I have not I've thought about it every single morning about going and picking the weights up and doing some exercises. But my bat wings will tell you a completely different story. I've absolutely not gone in there. So again, if you've got someone in your team who that does absolutely speak to, then you want to be speaking to them. Use your emotions, sell with stories and real life impact. Make sure you're staying focused on those niches and those pain points. I suppose in a way you could incorporate, you've been to the gym, you're a bit of a sweaty Betty. It's a little bit like vinegary. I remember it being vinegary, smells a bit weird, you taste a bit salty. You want to have a shower and you get your shower products out and you get your perfumes out. And I used to do this when I went to David Lloyd's and I used to milk it because I spent all that money. I want to have all that luxurious experience. And then you've got all your things lined up and you're spraying your perfume and you're like, yeah, yeah. Go on, smell me, ask me what it is. So you've got those ways in which you can do it. No one wants to be looking all buff and then smelling like a McDonald's under your armpits. You want to be smelling nice. Um, Mums, for instance, you want to show how these products can fit into your life, and I genuinely would think I could potentially be an alcoholic or a coffee addict had it not been for these supplements showing me that wine at 6 a.m. in the morning is not the answer. I mean, I am joking here, but there are people out there who can't afford to be going on the websites and trusting these different sites and buying products that then don't work. And then they lose trust and faith in these products because they just saw a fancy advert and they spent all this money on it and they're thinking, "Do you know what, I might as well just go and get 3 bottles of Lambrini for a tenner or whatever it is." They need that energy boost, or they're having the cheap coffee and they're wired and they're feeling ill, and it's that vicious cycle. Like the recharge, the B12, the L-carnitine, the aloe glow. Oh my God, I've had like a couple of days of no aloe glow, and I'm like, hurry up. I need to not miss out on that product out of all of them. That is just, for me, just functioning as a busy mum and wanting to be confident and to be able to go live, putting my makeup on and hit all those content pillars. I need to be functioning. So those wellness products don't just serve me as a person, but they also serve me in this business. So it's like a big round circle to fit in. So showing that telling those stories and that's got more of an impact than talking about the taurine that's in your recharge and whatever else is in there. I don't care what's in there. I know it's healthy. I trust the brand and it does the job. So I'm not going to talk forever and pretend I am a chemist and talk about all the different chemicals and the proteins and things. That's not my area of expertise. I mean, if somebody asks, I'll tell them. But all I'm going to say is, look, it tastes nice when you mix it all together. It's bloody delicious. It's helping me get my water up. And look, I had a nap today. In fact, I can't remember the last time I had a nap. It's great. It works. There you go. Okay. Make sure that you yourselves are actively selling. So this goes without saying, really, and hold yourself accountable, and show what it looks like, rather than just talking about it with, on your social media for your sales. Like you're obviously going to try and be the most energetic. You're going to be the most visible. You're doing all those things that we talked about that last week. I would say to inject a little bit of friendly competition. I do have a little bit of a red personality in me and I love it. So I mentioned how you want to be the top salesperson. Tell your team that. Be open with it. Share your leaderboards, like especially when you've got like a promotion ending like tonight. So well, it's nearly 9 o'clock. I don't think I've done it today yet, but I did it the other day. I said, look, these are the figures. Look how amazing these figures are. Let's see how they are tomorrow morning after this sale ends. I love that. As soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna share this month's leaderboards for top sales, and I'll do it again in the morning. And I'll just think it just encourages a little bit of healthy, friendly competition. Because then you're going to have a look at, oh, so they're at the top and they're beating me by like 100 PV. What are they doing? Let's go and have a look at their Facebook. Oh, I'm going to do that. And then it's fun, it's energy, we all win. Everyone, it pushes everybody. But make sure that you, as a leader, if you're encouraging that, you also get involved. I've got this sales guidance challenge, so you might want to write this down. It's really, really simple. A couple of people that I've spoken to today, I've mentioned it to them, and I've been doing it myself. You just aim to have 5 product conversations with people, then reach out to 5 people and follow up with 5 people. So 555, dead simple. Because if I go on my phone and the only messages I have got here is from you lovely lot, then I'm doing something wrong. I've gone into manager mode. I need to have unopened messages from people who I have reached out to or people who I've been engaging with who are responding to me asking them, do they want to get the perfume they've just looked at? They've just liked it. Or they've just shown me some support on my post about my pants being like massive now. Are you interested in those products for yourself? Is there anything I can help you with that? You want to be having those conversations. If you've not got an inbox full of people saying to you, no, I'm not interested, thanks, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your team will do in whispers what you shout in action. And that is absolutely true. 100% true. If I'm not going live and I'm not doing my business and I'm not showing up on social media and I'm not in my chats and having conversations and talking to people, they're not going to be doing anything near as much as that. So you as a leader, like we've said, this is, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. We really, really need to be showing up. And if you take that on board, what your team do in whispers, your team will do in whispers what you shout in action, then you need to make sure that you absolutely are doing everything you possibly can do to pip whoever it is off that top spot on the leaderboard. I've mentioned this already, keeping to your niche and don't chase the noise. Make sure you've got consistency in your branding and your message and staying authentic rather than being reactive. So corporate are going to drop all these different promotions, and that's fantastic. If you are focusing on nutrition and you see a nutritional product come up, that's the one that you want to be focusing on. I mean, if you're bold and you've got a big enough customer base, like I have, go out there and share the perfumes and say, oh look, I know you're loving your L-carnitine and you like going in the gym. What's it like these days? It's been a while. We've got this offer on the perfume. It's amazing. Do you want one? It's £10, it's £11, 11 pence. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's silly, silly money for that. And they smell lovely as well. Um, but yeah, don't get too distracted by that. Stick with your stay consistent in the branding that you have been doing all year long and stay authentic. Um, don't start giving skincare advice if you're not a dermatologist and you've not done the research in skincare and you've never professed to be an authority on skincare before. It's just stay in your lane, and then these different offers are just supplementary. So, like when you've got a customer who is like, oh, you're stocking up on your L-carnitine or you've collagen, it's time you get another 2 months worth of your collagen. Just as a little heads up, if you're needing any makeup, toothpaste, perfumes, we've got loads of these. Go and have a look. What do you want? Add those on. Those are like additional ones that you want to be going for. Um, yeah, stay magnetic to your people. Yeah, I've mentioned this already, but I think it's really, really important. And this has to stem from us as leaders, is keeping that energy within the team. And I know it's difficult, or it can be difficult, it can be a challenge, but we've got to rise to it because, like I said, November is a huge, huge month. If we sit back and just wait and we're passive, everything that we've done this year so far to level up and all those customers we've brought on board, all those new starters we've had on board, it's just going to be trickled away because we've done all that so that we can help them get off this best start. Remember a couple of months ago, we were saying to people, if you want to bring in additional income for Christmas, start now. This is what we're doing in summer months. You build, and then you've got your October, November, December. You're going to get your sales. That's when you're going to earn your commission, and you're going to get that built up so that when you go into 2026, you've got you're starting the year with a bigger customer base, you've a bigger team, you've got a bigger confidence, and all of those things. But they are only going to come if we actually have the bravery to step up, be the business owners, the business leaders, the ones that are going to take initiative and go out there and be unafraid and unapologetic to say, hi, I have got a one-stop beauty shop. Take a look at my website, buy from me, all of those sorts of things. You said you've got a problem with that. I have got a solution. Let me help you out. Let me get you sorted. You make sure you're not afraid to be using that language, which is saying, I expect the sale. I've given you all the information. I've shown you the emotional connection. I've shown you my own personal results. I know that you trust me. So here we are now. I'm ready for your business. Let's get this started. That's what we want to be doing. Making sure, because Sam said it earlier on today, customer service 100%. People can go and Google and they can search these products and it's a minefield and they could choose to buy from somebody else. But this is why we need to be stepping it up and being forthcoming and increasing our visibility to ensure that people know that it's us that they want to come to, and it's by stepping up that customer service and making sure they know that we are offering more of like, you know, that pastoral kind of care, the aftercare as well. We're doing those follow-ups. You know, we're not just after taking the money to get that initial sale. We want to help them. We want them to get the results. Right, let me just see. As I did see something just pop up then. If anybody sees a question and has an answer, please feel free to pop on. Let me just have a look. I'll go back. Hello, hello. You advent calendar, so like it's doing a mini calendar. That is so good. That's such a good idea, especially with like these products that we've got now. Like we're getting them what, £7.78. That's ridiculous. You see the brown mascara? I don't know if it's an error, but I have not highlighted it with corporate. It's like yeah, Sue's nodding. Is it £5.56? That's like 50% commission. Like, honestly, that's unreal. I would 100% be stocking up on those when you're doing your gift bags or anything, or you know, asking people if they want to get themselves a nice brown mascara who don't want that lovely chocolatey goodness to give them the fuller lashes, a little bit more of like a subdued day look, so that when they put their black mascara on, it's like bam on a night time. So yeah. Let's have a look. This is me. You've been in the messenger more. That's good. I think you've got to be as well. We can't ignore the fact that social selling seems to be going through some kind of shift, or it's just different. But let me tell you, there are in that legacy chat that I'm in, there's a lot of success. There's a lot of people getting the wins, but I'll tell you the difference. The ones that are getting those sales and they're getting a lot of sales, they are on it with their customers. They are all over when the customer has ordered. They are on it in the days coming up to them. So they know when their delivery is due, and they're using diaries. They've got a system in place. They're messaging them to say, right, your delivery should be with you like today, or your delivery should be with you tomorrow. Have you got your delivery? Okay, yeah, great. I have an automated message that I send out, and it goes something along the lines of, my business is primarily social media based. When you get your delivery, if you won't mind tagging me in your stories or on your page, that would be absolutely amazing. Please, thank you very much. No worries if you don't want to do it. It's just that's how I make my business, and I'd really love your support and appreciate that. Thank you very much. To the point where a lot of my customers just automatically do that now. Or you can ask them to do it if you've got like a VIP group, something like that. Get them to share it in there, and then having your follow-ups afterwards. How are you getting on? Are you remembering to take your L-carnitine in the morning? How's it going? Did you take your any before pictures? Just adding a little bit more to it, having those conversations, because that's also going to help when you do have these sporadic sales launch. They're gonna see it, you know, and they're already going to trust you. You've found it hard last few months. Nutri Plus because of other companies. You're not going anywhere more. I mean, a new circle. Yeah, you've got to keep replenishing that circle. And I think as well, especially with weight loss, like me, pet mine is yo-yoed. Like if you see something, you think, oh, I'll try that. I've tried the Scarsdale diet. I've done Slimming World, Weight Watchers. I've done Herbalife. I've lost weight with pharmacy products. I've lost weight with the U Beauty, and they're all great products. But I'll tell you what the key thing is for me, and it's not always the products obviously do help, but people were losing weight and gaining weight before you had
Waiting for
processed food,
Dawn. I'm not
before this
used to
was
that.
even
We've not
like
had the
even a
outside
thing.
world.
Um, it's your mindset. It's, you know, it's your mindset and your habits and having that connection with why it is you want to lose weight and what are your goals, and having somebody that's going to hold you accountable that understands that, and then having that community where you're all in the same boat. So something that's working well for me, and we've touched on this previously, is having like an accountability group. Now for me it's working well as like a small chat, and we just go in there and be like, look, it's gone 8 o'clock. The kitchen ain't your friend. You don't need to be in the kitchen. Close the kitchen cupboard. Have you drank enough water today? What meals have you had? Oh, that sounds nice. So I quite fancy that. And you know, and we're sharing those wins. But because I don't want to look at a tit in front of those people in the chats, I am making more of an effort to stay good. And that mindset shift has got to go. And I know that I could be I could be spending £300 a month with another brand that's very similar to ours, and I could probably get the same sorts of results. But I know that it would be, because I've done it before. They'd be very, very strict and restrictive. They're a little bit like, I don't want to say Nazi, but it's the only word I can say right now from my own personal experience. But we've got products here where we've got a lovely community. We're all nice people and we can offer that kind of accountability. The products are a lot more affordable and they're doing the job, but they're not just like helping with like weight loss. They do boost your energy, they do help with your wellness. I think it's just we need to make sure that we are staying focused on our own goals with the nutrition, having our own personal testimonials 100%. Like you I've been all year I've been taking the L-carnitine and all I've done is maintain. I lost weight at the beginning of the year, but that's because I didn't have the right mindset. I was taking the product, but then I was thinking, oh well, I've had those fat burners, so I guess it don't matter if I have a bacon sandwich. And I checked my weight and I didn't gain any weight, but I tell you what, when I took away my supplements, like hang on a minute, my clothes are feeling a bit tight. What's going on? Like our products are not magic skinny tablets. It's not a magical skinny coffee and drink that is gonna like burn through you drinking 3 bottles of wine on a weekend, having a takeaway and having a bacon bloody sandwich every morning for a week. We've got to be realistic with our expectations and have our own personal testimonial and just be honest and share what is winning. And it's not always about those um skills goals either. Like for me personally, if I don't feel like I need a nap, if I can get through a day functioning at an optimal level without needing a nap or feeling tired or discombobulated, then I am winning. But an absolute Brucey bonus if I can do it and my clothes are getting bigger on me. Um, so yeah, get your own personal testimonial. Make sure that you're not overselling and be absolutely honest. And that's it. Have those little accountability groups. I don't even have they're not even customers. I've got two of the girls in the team. We have a little chat and we say morning, we talk about what we've eaten and how our day's going, what's worked well, what hasn't. We don't, no one like beats each other up. We don't give unsolicited advice or anything. We all know what to do. Sometimes you just need that little space to hold yourselves accountable. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea. What else have I got to say? Yeah. Has anybody got any tips at all? Anything that's working well for them? Or
Hey,
hello.
I've got a quick one. All right.
Yeah.
Um, so when it comes to Christmas sales, one of the things that I do, and it usually works well, is become the customer's personal shopper. So go to your customers, the customer base that you've already got first, and keeps it really, really exclusive to them because they've stayed loyal, they buy regular off you, and ask them if you'd like to be their personal shopper. Takes the pressure off it, but set the whole tone for them. You know, takes the stress out of it. You've got health, you've got wellness, you've got beauty, you've got tons of umbrellas that you can work with, so you can personalize it. Is it for your mum? Is it for your grandma? Is it for your dad? Whoever, and tailor a little package. Just give me a budget. Give me a budget. What do you want? Who's it for? And you can go off and do it. So a couple that I've done so far is like everybody, all the women love my glass mugs. So glass mug, bag of coffee, some fluffy socks, a little face mask. About like the 10 packs of face masks, little face mask, and some like Ferrero Rochers in it. Perfect gift for mum, nana, best friend, whoever. Um, but I've kept it really exclusive, and I said I'm going to keep it exclusive and not open it up for the first 2 weeks of November, just to my customers, my VIPs, stuff like that. And then after that, I'm going to open it up to the rest of my Facebook audience. And I have also said, like with the glass cups, some of them are limited, so it's first come first base. And you can pick the glass cups mugs up for like £2. £2. Asda's got some on at the minute for £1.25. I think I paid the other day. Really nice iridescent mugs. Bag of coffee, and put it in a little gift box.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That
So
is great. Because I always see your lives and I see your coffee cups. Like, I always use the same one because I do the same thing in the morning, but I've missed a trick there because I could have rotated it and had some different mugs and you never
all
know. I'll
different moods.
put a bit more effort in, got some fancy mugs or something. So I've made note of that. But that's a brilliant idea and it's just so simple, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
I did break up, well, the intention was to break up the advent calendar, but then I had quite enough spare products, so I didn't have to break up the advent calendar. I kept it for myself. You know, they all got their bits, but I put these cute little bows on the pharmacy things to make it a little bit more Christmassy. I put chocolates in, and then the kids and Robbie ate the rest of the chocolates. But yeah, just getting like a box of celebrations, hide them from husbands and children, and then just
I did for myself.
yeah, hiding from yourself. Just little touches like that, it just makes a difference, doesn't it? And like,
Mm.
especially when it's unexpected. Samples as well. I mean, it is a bit of it's an investment, of course, buying those samples, but make a note of who you're giving the samples to. And then when they pick up the products and they've used it, say, oh, I gave you a sample of the skincare. Have you had a chance to try it yet? No, I haven't. Oh, well, try it and then let us know how you get on. How did you like that skincare? Oh, it was really good, thanks. Oh, well, just so you know, the entire set is only 50 quid, you know. Or what was it you loved the most? Do you want to try the cleanser next? Um, Going back to the people with the perfumes, I know they spray the perfumes on their thank you cards and their business cards when they give their orders. And they're like, what was that smell? It was really, really nice. Ah, just my perfume. There you go. So yeah. It's good. So, is anyone, let me just have a look at the chat. Has anyone got any other tips? Anyone else's Facebook post not being seen as much? Yeah, however, I think people have just not matured, they're kind of like become immune to it. It's like when you put before and after pictures up too much. Not only do Facebook not like it, but people just scroll past. It's like, all right, yeah, another fat person that's got skinny, yeah, nice one, great. And you know, it's not always gonna have that same impact. Whereas if you've got like if it's a personal picture that's going to have more impact than a complete stranger. But just being a little bit clever how you do it. I should like the trout like mine like with the trousers. Like I didn't even see the difference until Louise pointed it out to me. But I've more had more response on that than I have with any of my other pictures that I've shared with other people's testimonials or just showing me drinking the products, for instance. I think it's got to touch on like an emotional level and be authentic. And then again with painting, painted my hallway and landing, but I didn't tell anyone what colour I was painting it till right at the end. So of course I got my most engagement when I finally showed Egyptian cotton, the most common paint that people paint their other two walls. But it got a lot of engagement. So I mean I'm not saying go out and decorate your hallway or something, but something literally as mundane as watching paint dry can capture people's attention. So it's not that people are not on social media, they're just you're not showing them what they want to see. Um, People might want to like think about what people that are not in this business, what are they doing right now? You know, are they scrolling because they want a bit of relief? Have they got much time? Do they want a solution to a problem? Or do they just want to be entertained? Do they want to see funny memes where the theme is a woman's taking the piss out of her husband, or the funny things that husbands do, or like marriage humor, or unhealthy, toxic friendships where you're sharing ill advice from one unqualified person to another unqualified person. Do you know, just all those different themes, like whatever it is that fits in with you and your niche. Are you sharing reels and things that are about that? Is that the kind of content you're creating? Is it funny? Because the reels that I share tend to be along the same sort of theme and I'm getting more followers off the back of those reels. So they're then going to see things. So I am getting engagement from there. Um, posts that are about like real life. Like, have you put your Christmas tree up yet? I mean, you might not even care if everyone's got the Christmas tree up. You might be dead against people putting the tree up in November for whatever reason, but people have an opinion on it. Or you could even like show me your Christmas tree. Who's got the Christmas tree up? Show me it. People want to share it. It's nice. And you can get to be nosy because people love to be nosy. Um, so it is a bit different. I think if it's product all the time, then you, yeah, people might switch off or they're just like, oh yeah, that's Sadie. When I'm thinking that I need to lose some timber, I'll go to her for the fat burners because they're clearly working, but it's not enough to stop them in the tracks. But whereas if there's something that's like, oh, hang on a minute, wow, what's that? Oh, ha, that's funny. Or, ooh, that's interesting. Oh, she wants my opinion. Blah, 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 blah. Let me put my 2 pence in. That is going to get the engagement. But have a look and experiment and see what works for you and then do more of that. If you've got professional mode set on, your Facebook will literally tell you what you need to be doing more of. You just need to go into your insights. It'll even have like weekly tasks for you to do to increase it. It'll show you if you're getting more views on 12-second reels or 30-second reels. It'll tell you if you need to do more text only posts or if you need to do more photo only posts or if you do need to put more reels on. Have you posted less stories this week than last week? It'll tell you all of that information. You just need to go on there, do what it's suggesting you do because Facebook wants you to have engagement. They want you to be popular and have a look at the content and make a physical note if you need to. What is it that people are wanting to see? And then just do more of that. You did a pass the parcel game. You did it a year ago and got 1,000 comments. You're currently on 5 comments this year. Yeah, people just might be using social media completely different. And don't forget today, there's quite a lot of people who are having a social media and an internet ban. So there's that thing to consider as well. And what I like to do is I'll go on my memories every day. And if there's something that worked last year, sometimes I'll copy it or sometimes I'll just put reboost it. So just comment on it. So then everyone that was on that initial engagement, they're going to see it again. So that's wise to do. Um, let's have a look. Jackie, do you want to explain that? Oh, the comment pass and then you jump in and say stop. Yeah, it's like Duck Duck Goose, or you keep commenting and then when you put in, say for instance, you've done what word is it? So they're commenting away. Say they put Santa, 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 Santa. When you type clause, the person that put Santa underneath, they're a winner. So is it like that? Because I know you can oh there you go. You've won a perfume for 11.11, so that's what the prize is. Yeah, so that's a good idea. But those sorts of things tend to work well in like if you're in a closed group, that's good to get engagement up in there. I know with profiles, some people might be reluctant to keep repeatedly commenting because it can be classed as spam and then they end up getting a ban. So that could be something that's affected it. But all these things are great ideas. You just got to try them and then see what's working and see what isn't, and just keep on putting it out there. Sticking with like your 5 like I mentioned. So having those 5 product conversations, reaching out to 5 people, following up with 5 people. Make sure you're staying aligned with your content pillars and sticking with your niche, talking to the pain points of your niche, and then going through to your teams as well and ensuring that they're doing it. But they're going to look at yourself as well. So if they've got a goal to hit something, you need to make sure that you're doing what they need to be doing to hit it times 10. Okay, so that they can go away with just a sliver of that energy and get it and still get their results, and then that's going to level you up. But I'm going to get going now if there's no other tips or anything like that. I think we've covered like quite a lot. And try and get everyone on tomorrow's call as well. Katie's running tomorrow's call. No doubt she's going to throw out some more sales tips as well, off the back of what we've gone through tonight. But as leaders, get those leaderboards out, get some recognition going, some friendly competition, make sure that we are leading by example and being the loudest, being the proudest, having the most energy, leading from by example and holding ourselves accountable. But I'm super, super excited because I can see this 61-day month, so November and December, is really, really going to catapult not us individually, but all of us collectively going into 2026. And I know because they've dropped all these hints that next year is just going to be huge. This is our first ever full year in pharmacy. It wasn't even a full year last year. We launched in February. Some of you didn't even join until later on. So this year is our first ever full year, and we've had massive growth. And even if it was to slow down, we'd still have massive growth next year. But considering we are expanding our product line and we're expanding into different markets, and you know what pharmacy are like, I cannot see us dipping at all. We're going to continue growing, but that all has to be intentional. And that starts with making sure that we have got that energy and that momentum in these last couple of months so that that is what our strength, that is what our strong looks like when it comes to 2026. So I'm excited. I'm going to get going now. And thank you all for your time, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.